Chapter 3, page 29. The boy and the butler moved their carpetbags into a cabin with one porthole, 4 bunks, and 6 passengers. A hammock was strung up for Jack, since Mountain Jim preferred to sleep on the floor, with his yellow bobcat cap for a pillow. There was room for all. Shucks, he smiled. If I was to sleep in a bed, I think I was sick. Among their cabin mates was Dr. Bugbee, the horse doctor. He was going out to the mines on his wooden leg to locate a rich gold deposit. He had a map, he whispered, that marked the very spot. At the same time, he carried on alarm trumpet around his neck day and night in case anyone tried to take the map from him. In addition to Mountain Jim and Dr. Huckabee, there was an ex-soldier named Nath Tweedy. He still wore his forage cap and hickory shirt and kept his rifle and bayonet propped in a corner of the cabin. Finally, there was Mr. Azariah Jones, a jolly Yankee trader who was as big as the cabin was small. As Jack was soon to discover, Mr. Azariah Jones could squeeze through the cabin door only by holding his breath. He said he weighed 300 pounds, barefoot and bald-headed. It amused Praiseworthy that the Yankee trader had unwittingly provided Jack and himself with their accommodations in the hold. The 18 barrels of potatoes belonged to Mr. Azariah Jones, who planned to sell them in San Francisco. When all of these passengers were in the cabin at one time and at the same time, it seemed to Jack that the walls would burst. At night, the chorus of snoring and snorting was a sea-going opera. Jack learned to fall asleep with his fingers in his ears. When a good wind was blowing, the Lady Wilma spread her sails and saved fuel. By the day, the sun grew more fiery. Soon there was hardly a breath of air left on the shipboard. The canvas hung limp and dispirited from the yardarms. Tar oozed between the deck planking and dripping from the rigging. But with her machinery clanking, the ship went thrashing on, digging her stout bows into the equator. Whenever Jack went good luck, the pig came trotting at his heels. When Jack stretched out under the stern boat to add a few words to his letters, the porker found himself nuzzled into the shade beside Jack. Jack refused to scratch his back. I told you yesterday, he said. He must be stern. You better stop following me. We've got to stop being friends, you and me, sir. I've made up my mind. If pigs were so smart, they wouldn't be eaten so much. See how fat you're getting? Don't you know you're going to end up in the galley? Every time the cook sees you, he smacks his lips. Sunday dinner, that's what you are. Go away, sir. But the porker merely nudged Jack's elbow lovingly with his black snout. I told you, said Jack. I'm not going to scratch your back anymore. Let me be. There was no reasoning with the porker. He promptly fell asleep in the shade, and Jack gave a heavy sigh. There was no escape for the pig. Next week or the week after, the cook would come looking for him with a meat cleaver.